tell me that all the time, but I want to make sure blinders are always off and people understand exactly what's going on. I hope you realize that when you hack up dozens, hundreds, thousands of bodies day after day with machetes, after a day or two, machetes are no longer sharp. We are talking about half hacked up bodies in the street, still convulsing, not even dead from being hacked up yet. Needless to say, at this point of the documentary, I have stopped packing my suitcases. I'm sitting on the edge of my bed and my jaw is dropped as low as it can be dropped. Because I'll tell you what, as long as I live, no one will be ever able to explain to me the violent, vicious, disgusting behavior that humans are capable of. All of us. We are the most violent species that has ever existed, bar none. And I'm not just talking about Rwanda and Darfur. The Holocaust and slavery, apartheid, Cambodia, Armenia, Serbia, the Inquisition, the Crusades. Man, there was an endless list of atrocities that we've committed against each other for one reason. Well, there's always been a reason. One group thinks they're more special, more superior, and more important than the other group. Back to my earlier point about discrimination always being wrong. I mean, the moment somebody okays discrimination is the moment somebody okays oppression, exploitation, slavery, and murder. Now, it took me about 10 or 15 minutes to regain my faculties from what I was seeing. Cruelty affects me the same way, knocked me back on my behind. After I got my thoughts back, I started to try and figure out how I could have gotten more involved to help stop that atrocity in Rwanda. Because I'll tell you what, I'm a man of action. That's why I do the lecturing. That's why I've been to jail. I despise, and I say that word for a reason, I despise just saying that I'm opposed to something. Oh yeah, I'm opposed to that. Well, I'm opposed to that too. Wait, I'm opposed to that too. What atrocity? Oh gosh, that's horrible. I'm opposed to that too. That does nothing to make the world a better place. When you oppose something, it doesn't make the world a better place. When you get involved, when you get active and not apathetic, that makes the world a better place. Now, sadly, I realized there was nothing I could have done to stop that genocide. None of us, unless we physically got onto an airplane and went to Rwanda, which we don't have the means to, and we're not associated with the right government agencies to even get through the borders and do anything. All we could have done was just sat back and opposed the atrocity. And don't misconstrue what I'm saying. Of course, we should oppose an atrocity when it happens, but there's a major difference between opposing something and actually doing something about it. When I realized that every single time I give a lecture, and this one is no different, I am giving everyone an opportunity tonight. When you walk out of this room, you have a chance to actually take part in ending a massacre, a personal revolution to make the world a better place, to actually do something about an injustice instead of just taking a position and paying lip service to an injustice. When you walk out of this room, if you change the way you eat, your lifestyle, you can directly affect the lives of thousands of innocent beings, and collectively, everybody, we can affect the lives of billions of innocent beings. And I'm not trying to get into a debate or a discussion about, hey, Gary, are these animal atrocities you speak of worse than the human atrocities? When I talk about atrocities and compare them, I'm only proving that violence is violence, and cruelty is cruelty. Premeditated murder is premeditated murder, even if the victims only have fur and feathers and beaks and gills. I'm not trying to rank atrocities. That's obscene to me. Like somebody asking me, was the Holocaust worse than slavery? They're both obscene in my eyes. The real underlying question remains, can you do something to end that atrocity, especially if you are contributing to it? Now, with all this being said, I want to help people put this into action. I do. I'm not somebody that travels the country preaching and complaining about problems and offering no solution. That's not my style. I hope everyone is considering a lifestyle change today, and at the very least, a drastic reduction in your animal product intake. Reduction, because of supply and demand, has a positive effect in many ways. I mean, if we don't want to enslave and murder 10 billion land animals every year, only 5 billion or 1 billion, that's billions of beings that won't suffer and die. So if you can only make Friday and Saturday all vegan day, or Monday and Tuesday all vegan day, it's a step in the right direction. It's making an effort to make the world a better place. But don't change forms of cruelty. And that benefits nobody. I mean, don't email me tomorrow, next week, and say, hey, Gary, your speech was pretty tight, man. It was tighter than I thought it was going to be. I want to help. You make a lot of sense. So from now on, I'm only going to buy free-range eggs. All free-range chickens end up dead. Every one of them, there are no exceptions. There are no hen sanctuaries in the egg industry. Doesn't seem that free to me. Don't be duped by different forms of cruelty. Don't change forms of cruelty. That benefits nobody but the abusers of animals. But reducing cruelty is a step in the right direction, and of course, eliminating cruelty is the best step in the right direction. All I'm asking people to do is just eat what comes from the ground, what comes from the earth, because it's natural, it's full of life and vitamins and minerals and nutrients and protein and calcium and iron and potassium. Anything and everything the human body needs comes from the earth. That's where it all comes from in the first place. The original sources of everything are fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes. I'm still looking for the first medical report in history that can indict broccoli, or bananas, or carrots, or apples, or asparagus, or collard greens as a cause of illness. Have you ever opened up the newspaper, turned on the TV news, and seen a story like this? Obesity is an epidemic in America. Obesity is running rampant. Diabetes is out of control. What's the cause? Everyone's eating too much broccoli. Ever open up the newspaper, seen a story like this? Joe Smith had a massive coronary today. A massive heart attack killed Joe. What happened to Joe? You know Joe. He ate too much asparagus. When you eat things that are natural, you do not have unnatural side effects like diseases. But when you eat things that are unnatural, you have unnatural side effects like diseases. And what about the diseases that we've created, that we've engendered? Mad cow disease and Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, the human derivative of mad cow disease, and SARS and the bird flu. I personally am tired. Every time I open up the paper, turn on the news, it's the bird flu this and the bird flu that. The bird flu's in Malaysia, it's in Indonesia. Cats in Germany are getting the bird flu. Animals at the Thailand Zoo are getting bird flu. What are we going to do when it comes here? Quarantine people at the airport. No, wait, we'll set aside $7.1 billion of our economy to try and find a vaccine for the bird flu. Now, for the record, I could care less about our economy. I'm open and honest about everything. I also believe money is the root of all evil, which is why most of the cruelty takes place too. But I'll tell you what, I will offer a solution tonight at Deerfield Academy to save our economy $7.1 billion, save a lot of innocent animals, some torture and some killing, and save a lot of people some possible ill health effects. You want to stop the bird flu? Stop enslaving and eating chickens. You want to stop the bird flu? Stop enslaving and eating chickens. You want to stop mad cow disease? Stop enslaving and eating cows. You want to stop most of our diseases? Stop eating meat, cheese, milk, and eggs. I'm on a roll. Let me throw out a couple more. You want to stop lung cancer and emphysema? Stop smoking cigarettes. You want to stop drunk driving and cirrhosis? Stop drinking alcohol. And you want to stop habitat destruction? Stop destroying habitat. There are simple